Okay, so this week I have been updating my YouTube channel art, so I thought I might just share with you how to come up with ideas, some design principles that you might want to consider, and how to actually accomplish it in Canva. So if you're interested in concept to completion of your channel art, then stay tuned. The first thing you want to do, of course, is come up with an idea for your channel art. So you can start with, if you already have a logo or brand colors or anything like that, you're going to want to incorporate those elements into your art because you want everything to be consistent across the board, from your social media, your website, print, anything like that. You want to keep it consistent, so see how you might be able to fit that into your channel art. The other thing to consider is your personality. So if you're a very vibrant and fun person, then communicate that in your art as well. So when people see your art, they already get a sense of, oh, this is like a fun, whimsical kind of person. If you're, of course, a more laid back or quieter person, again, communicate that. So maybe if you're a very fun, outgoing, bold kind of person, use bold colors and whimsical designs. If you're more laid back or it's a business style, then you might want to use more pastel colors or very formal styling. Think about your audience as well, because obviously you're wanting to reach your target audience. So what will they like, or what will they resonate with? So if you are, again, a very fun, energetic personality, but your subject is more formal and more business-like, you want to see how you might be able to merge that, because you don't want to disregard your personality and everything, but at the same time you want to be able to reach your audience. Your audience isn't going to be too impressed if they think you are a clown, for example. So just consider yourself and your personality, your audience, and what they will resonate with, and then see how you can make that work. The other thing to think about is what images or icons and things like that you can incorporate. So for example, think about maybe some of the tools that you use for your business. Maybe it's, if you're a photographer, then you'd be using cameras. If you are a painter, you might use paintbrushes. You can also use the end result of your work. So you could use your paintings or your the actual photos that you've taken. If you are a foodie and your channel's about food, then you can include a really nice, delicious recipe on there. And basically the idea is to take what you are going to be expressing on your channel and communicating that in your art, so that people are immediately, oh, this is about food, this is about photography, this is about art, or whatever it might be. And the other thing you might want to consider as well is adding text. So if you have a logo, definitely use it. If not, use your name or something to identify you. I would also recommend adding a tagline or brief description about what your channel is about, because people aren't necessarily going to go to your about page or find out more about you, watch your playlists or stuff like that, unless they know that that's what if you're going to offer what they want. So a tagline or brief description can really grab your audience and be like, oh yes, I want to actually find out more about this person or on this channel, watch more videos, that kind of thing. And of course that's what you're wanting, is for people to stay on your channel and watch the videos. So something that grabs their attention in the banner, which is going to be their first thing that captures their attention, is a great way to make the most of that. And also you might want to include how often you're going to post and when, so that people will know when to expect your videos. For example, if you plan to post once a week and maybe on a Friday, you can say new videos every Friday, for example. So think about those elements. If you've already got something, use that. Think about your personality, your audience and what they expect, and visual images that you can include, and any text that you might want to add as well. Okay, so the second thing you want to consider are the design elements, and the first part of that is leading lines. So you can see here that we have lines, if you like, that are leading you to leading your eye to this subject that they want you to look at. So leading lines can be really good in your design elements. Also the scale of how things are. So we've got this very large person and this small person, which can denote a whole lot of different things. In this case, it's large versus small business. So the scale and the importance of what that image is in your design can really help. You might also want to look at opacity. It doesn't always have to be full opacity like this person. You can also have various transparencies as well. So that can also be a nice element in your design. Hierarchy or visual hierarchy is pretty much, most people will read this first and then read this, which is how it's designed to be. So the person who designed this specifically wanted you to read this in this order. So that is visual hierarchy, that you're going to be looking at bigger things first. You're going to be looking at things typically on the left first. So you want to bear that in mind when it comes to visual hierarchy. Then you've got contrast. So you've got these color contrasts in these images here. You can also do black and white contrast like those, and that can be really effective as well. Also, you might want to consider framing, so you can use an actual frame, or you can use a gate or trees or rocks or whatever else might be available to frame your images. If you're using typography, depending on the style you're going for, these are the fun kind of whimsical typography you might like to use in your art. Just make sure it's readable and doesn't look confusing. But if you're more of a business style approach and you want to be more formal, then maybe some of these would be more appropriate as far as the typography. Another thing to consider is balance. So for example, this is the current banner that I have at the moment. And if I were to take this away, you can see that it's a little bit off balance at this point because it's kind of all over here, but putting this in this area here, it kind of gives that a little bit more balance. Again, if I were to make this very large and it just overpowering, and it kind of loses that aspect of balance to the image. So look at balance, look at color as well. So for my business, I've got creative online courses, and when I think of creativity, I think of a lot of color. So that's why I included that in the logo. Again, the online, I kind of got this kind of beacon beaming out kind of thing going on here with the COC. So I wanted to incorporate that into my design as well. So I've got a splash of color on these sides, and I've also included a little triangle play style button to kind of give the idea of YouTube, and a little like button here. Now I could have used a blue splash, but because my colors are white, yellow and red and black for my videos, I wanted to keep in the same color scheme, which is another thing you want to do. You don't want to use too many colors, so I ended up using the yellow there just to keep in with this whole color scheme. So then obviously the composition is basically bringing it all together. So you're looking at the scale, the size of things. You're looking at your leading lines if you're using them, balance, color, transparency or your opacity, the hierarchy of where things are located so that your eye follows where you want to go. The use of contrast. So I've got the white against the red, for example, or the black against the yellow. Framing elements if you're using it, and the type of typography that you use, whether it's a very formal style or a more informal and fun style. Okay, so the third and last thing I'm going to show you is how to put it all together in Canva. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to your YouTube channel. You're going to want to go to the Creator Studio and go to the edit button of the channel art here. Now bring up this box. You're going to want to go to this link here, how to create channel art, and click on that. When you do, it will bring up this page here, which you want to then go down to image tips and guidelines, and down to image size and file guidelines, and download the channel art templates, which will give you basically something like this. Once you've done that, you want to go to Canva, and Canva comes up with this home page. You want to go down to social media and email headers and click on YouTube channel art. That will bring up a new page, and once you've done that, you want to go to, you've got options here which you can use as templates if you wish, but I would go to uploads, and then you can drag your channel art. So I downloaded it and I've already opened it in file. You want to use the PNG version and drag that to here. So basically it's just a drag and drop situation. Since I've already uploaded it, I'm just going to put it on my desktop here. So this is where it goes, and then you're going to want to put it on here and drag to size. So now you know, that's not quite right. So now you know the size of the design area that you want to use. So you basically want to keep your design within this darkest area in order for the most important parts to be seen on every device. Okay, so what I did first, I went to elements and I went to shapes. You've got various different things here you can choose from. I used this one and made it into more of a rectangle, and used this for my text box. So something along those lines. Now my text box was black, so you can go up here and you can change it to whatever color you like. Okay, the next thing I did was I uploaded several images. So I uploaded a picture of myself, which I've been using in other things as well, which is why it's a bit further down. Obviously I'm a bit large, so I'm going to scale myself down to a more appropriate size. I've got my logo here, so I'm going to add that here to create a bit of balance and to include my logo. And then I've got this splash of colors. So I've got red on the left hand side, so I'm going to put that there. Again, it's rather large, so I'm going to scale it down and put it about there. Now it's also in front of the black text box, so I want to arrange it to the back. So just hit it as many times as needed to go to the back. Again, I used a yellow splash down the bottom here, again to add a bit of balance. So I'm going to scale it to about the similar sort of size, put it under there, and also arrange it to the back so the text box is in front. On the yellow splash, I included the like button, so I'm going to, or thumbs up, like button or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to scale that down again. And for the for this one, I used elements, shapes, which were already on, went down and chose a triangle. Obviously it's still a bit large, so I'm going to scale it down. You can then move it to where you need it to be. You can use this little toggle thing here to change it to a different angle. And if you want to move it around a little bit, you can use your arrow keys to fine-tune the movement, the placement. Okay, so the next thing to do is add some text here. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. I also actually want to include a line, so I'm going to go to lines here. Here again, you've got lots of different options, illustrations, icons, charts if you want to include them. Also frames. Now I just used the basic line here. I made it smaller and drag it down here, so that I could divide the elements that I'm going to be using, and go up here and change it to yellow. Okay, then I'm going to add my text. It doesn't matter really too much which one you choose. Go up here and choose which font that you want to use. So I've been using Railway, so I'm just going to change that. I'm going to change it to maybe a size 12. I'm going to change the color to white. Okay, and then I'm going to click out of that, drag this down here and click on it and put new videos every Friday. Okay, and then I'm going to add body text here. I'm going to again click on here so that it's also Railway, and I'm going to probably put it at 9, and the color will be this color here. Okay, and then I'm going to go out of here so you can see it. I'm going to copy paste because I've already copied it, and place it down onto my image here. And you can play around with exactly how that looks so that it looks as you want it. Okay, so now at the moment I've still got the template on the background, but the important thing is you can see with the dark area here, these elements are all going to be in place. The only thing I might need to do is move this like button closer, in which case I might want to adjust the design a little bit. But again, remember you want the main focus to be in that dark area, which all of this is. Once you've done that, you can delete the template and you can use it as is with a white background. But if you prefer to use a different color background, you've got this tab here and you can use different colors as well. So if I want to use blue, for example, I can add that. Or if I want to use some of the patterns down here, you can also use those. So for example, I might want to use this kind of pattern in the back. So that gives you your design done. Obviously I used a white background, so I'm just going to change it back to white. You can go down to download and you want to download the PNG to your desktop. And if I close this, you can see it right here. If I go back to here, you want to go to, let me bring it up on here. So this is the desktop basically, and I can drag it over here. Okay, it will come up and it will show you how it looks on the desktop and on the TV and on the mobile, and if you like it you can then hit select, and if you do that it will then come up with your channel art looking like this. Okay, so I hope that was helpful in guiding you with your designing of your channel art. I'd be really interested to see what you produce, so please post a link to your channel art in the comments below. And also let me know if there's anything you would like me to produce videos on, so that I can produce content that is specifically helpful for you. If you like this video, then please hit the like button and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon.